Get this video started. Hello, Miss Lake. It is me, it is Parker, and I will be doing the video presentation for the PAMMI, the Preferred Activity Maximization Machine Incorporated, of course. And we are really excited about this presentation. Really proud of the work that our team was able to get done as a result of this presentation. All right, so let's jump right in. So, of course, the team members, me, Matthew Bennett, Mark Treesice, and Ivy Sanchez. Again, great work here. Now let's start with the business model. The business model, again, with inventions like this, when you're really starting off, it's difficult to have a storefront. And so we decided to go with the online format, with the online storefront. And again, if it's difficult to read anything here, I would encourage you to follow along on the slideshow that was emailed to you. And so going with an online storefront is going to be super important for us, because with inventions like this, you know, getting a physical storefront isn't going to do us much good if you only have one product. We also threw around the idea of potentially getting in some malls, getting some places where people can kind of get a free sample without getting a free chair. All right, and so our model would be a corporation. With inventions like this, capital is tight, workers are tight, everything can be kind of constricting when you've only got 4 people in the project. So we've decided to go the route of getting investors, getting people invested into this product, and getting people interested. And that's not only going to allow us to have significantly more capital, but it's going to allow us to expand our reach. All right, so the description of the product: it's a multi-purpose chair that is so unique, it's like magic. It is the one-stop shop for the sedentary and the sedentary and the active alike. From relaxation to exercise to gaming, whatever it is that you need, this chair does it all. All right. Now here's some of the problems. We know so many people who have so many hobbies. Okay. There are plenty of gamers out there who love to lift weights. There are plenty of weightlifters who love to sit down and just watch a good Netflix movie. So many people have so many hobbies, and quite frankly, you just can't, most of them can't afford to cater to all of them, not without significant time and capital investment. This chair is the solution to that problem. Also, you think of people that have studio apartments. You think of people who are living in these 1,000 and under square, even these 500 square foot apartments. There just is not room. There is not room for everything that they want to do. And so they're either forced to get a gym membership or get some sort of subscription to something like a GameFly that ships you games, or they could buy the chair, all right? And the other thing is, like I said in the previous slide, it's a one-stop shop. People pay a lot of money for convenience. There is a reason that things like Uber Eats and Postmates exist, because people will pay for convenience, all right? So now, the purpose is to meet all the problems that you have, and even the ones that you didn't know that you had, okay? So a lot of times we don't realize just how valuable something is until either we don't have it or we do have it. In other words, you may have a slow computer, but you may not realize just how much you're missing out on until you get a new computer, and you realize how fast it is, and you realize what you've been missing out on this whole time. This is what the PAMMI is kind of meant to do. I'm sorry, I stuttered on that, but it's kind of meant to do. It's kind of solve some problems and do some maximization of your space that maybe you didn't necessarily know that you needed, okay? Now, due to the great diversity of our product, we've decided to let our market research reflect that. So we're going into a variety of different markets here in terms of gaming, exercise, furniture. And so we've decided to allow the other 3 companies that we analyze to reflect that diversity. The first one is, of course, La-Z-Boy. La-Z-Boy is a brand name. It's been out there for 93 years. It's located in Monroe, Michigan, and it primarily offers recliners, but it's in the furniture market. Now, it has some great strengths. They have a strong distribution network and a strong supply chain that is huge. They're not only able to get these chairs made quickly, but they're able to get them out quickly. And that has led to a high customer satisfaction rating. People love when they can get it quick, they can get it fast, and it's still quality, okay? Unfortunately, they do suffer from some weak marketing. Let's be honest, as much as La-Z-Boy is a brand name in your mind, you don't see it around very much unless you're in a furniture store. So they maybe if they got a little more screen time, that would really help them out, really shoot their profits through the roof. but the rest of their product basically comes from a lack of diversity and an overall specialization. Now, specialization can be good. Specialization can really help a company thrive, but it can overall hurt your profit margins because it does, to an extent, limit your audience, okay? Now, opportunities. New technological advances have allowed La-Z-Boy to diversify even within their smaller market. Their smaller market of recliners, they are able to, again, with new technology, they're able to expand their horizons. New taxation. With people being taxed more and more, having less and less money, they are more likely to turn to the brand names, the established, trustworthy names that they know. And La-Z-Boy has made themselves one of those names, okay? And if they are able to expand in the online storefront, I mean, that's gonna open doors for them that it's gonna blow the doors off the place, all right? Now, threats. Legislation is becoming increasingly consumerist. It is becoming increasingly consumer friendly. And day by day, people are suing companies because of a defective chair, because of some thing that was in the advertising thing that they claim they didn't get. It just, again, legislation is gonna make it tough, and it's gonna leave very, very little margin for error. Now again, specialization can be good, but specialization can also be your downfall if you're not elite at what you're doing, okay? That leads to intense competition. Because you're specialized, if you are specialized and your competitors are able to reach your point of quality and then still have other areas that they excel in, you're doomed. You're doomed, quite simply. Now, obviously that's far more easier said than done. But, again, it happens. It absolutely happens all the time. Now, the next one was Peloton. Peloton's more of a more recent company. It was founded in 2012. It's based in New York, and it basically sells exercise machinery, but mainly exercise bikes. Now, again, they have strong marketing. I see Peloton on TV all the time, even on YouTube. They are all over the place. They have gotten their name out there and gotten their name out there well. Again, it is a multifaceted product. One of the biggest appeals of Peloton is that they have trainers that have recorded these programs that are now programmed into the Peloton and allow this training regiment to be used by the Peloton buyer. Okay? They also have a very high customer satisfaction. People love this product. And when people love a product, that does more than any marketing ever will. Okay? When your buddy recommends to you, hey, I got this great exercise bike, next time you go to buy one, you're going to remember that. Word of mouth can be huge. Now, weaknesses. Same issue that La-Z-Boy has. Specialization. They have limited options and they have a narrow audience. Okay? And those things are going to give them a profitability ceiling. And what has really given them limited options and narrow audience is their price point. Their price point, it is a rather pricey exercise bike, and so being able to not really reach that low and middle class could really hurt them, because not everybody can drop $1,200 on an exercise bike. Now I know we're getting those stimulus checks, but people are going to take food on the plate over an exercise bike. I hate to break it to you, all right? However, opportunities. Let's start with the growing market. The growing market, the exercise industry has always been consistently on an uptick, especially with the individualistic way that our society is going, when people are saying, hey, work on yourself, love yourself, work on, love your body. And so people are getting more and more into fitness. And that has led to the exercise industry really growing. And if Peloton can then, secondly, diversify their product to meet some of these needs, then they could really thrive in the exercise industry. Okay? Now there are some threats. I talked about this with the weaknesses. There is a profitability ceiling. If Peloton does not diversify, then eventually they're going to kind of hit that ceiling. They're going to hit it. Okay? Because eventually, even if they keep selling to their main audience, it's Peloton is not the kind of thing that lends itself to a lot of upgrades. And so it might lead to kind of, again, hitting that wall where your main audience basically already has your product. You don't do a whole lot outside of that. There's nothing more to sell them, okay? Again, with the exercise industry consistently growing and consistently showing great profits, new competitors are bound to come. And again, as it was with Lazy Boy, new taxation laws are going to hurt them. Peloton's a relatively new company. Lazy Boy was a brand name. Peloton, not as much. They've only been in business for 8 years. Lazy Boy's been there for 93. So being a relatively new product, being one that's known as kind of more upscale, people are a little less likely to splurge on that when they feel like there's another exercise bike, maybe a notch or two below it, that's gonna be just fine. Now, we move on to our last one, which is Secret Lab. Secret Lab is a gaming chair company. It's based out of Singapore. It was founded in 2014, and they've done a really good job of being able to reach over 40 countries worldwide. And again, they sell these gaming chairs. They have, some of their strengths include they have very, very strong marketing. They have paired with gamers, with some of these high up gamers in esports, and they've gotten with some of the biggest competitive games and gotten their name with some really strong affiliations that really are going to help them with the primary audience that they're seeking to reach. When these are the premier games, the premier gamers, and that these people look up to it and they say, hey, this product is great, it's huge. They have a great image because they've won several awards, 10 in fact, for their product. 10 different awards for their product. That bodes well when you're able to say the award-winning Secret Lab chair, all right? Now, some of their weaknesses, again, kind of similar to Peloton, price point. Price point is inevitably going to hurt them because it's going to limit their audience. They tend to be about $300 to $500 chairs, and that's a range that's on average 80% more than most of its competitors. And so unless you have elite head and shoulders above quality, you're going to struggle to get people to buy into your product, okay? Now, while many gamers do sit leaning forward, the chair may not have discomfort, but if it's not lending itself to comfort in that way, people may be, again, with the price point, maybe a little more likely to just get a standard office chair that works just fine, okay? So opportunities. The gaming chairs have no middleman. Secret Lab sells directly to consumers. That cuts out some vendor costs, that gives convenience, which we talked about earlier, and ultimately leads to a cheaper price tag. Again, current events. Quarantine has kept people inside, and they are gaming now more than ever. And what they may be realizing is that their little beanbag, their 10-year-old gaming chair isn't cutting it, okay? The quarantine might be the absolute best thing for this gaming chair. Affiliations, they have done a great job of affiliating with Rainbow Six, PUBG, Fortnite, these premier games and competitive gamers, and pairing with them to get their name out there. And if they continue to do that, their profits will do nothing but rise. Now, again, this is where PAMMI really shines. The same weakness that all of these companies have, a lack of diversity. Specialization is great, but it does limit your audience. Okay, one of the companies that does specialization really well, In-N-Out thrives selling 3, 4, 5 things, but it limits their audience because they're not going to attract the vegetarians, they're not going to attract the vegans and all of those people. All right. Now, the type of business, because it is a private company, when the owners pass, there will be kind of a limbo, and there could be some chaos, and there could be some difficulty in kind of the passing of the baton. That makes for an unstable investment for the investors, which could be really, really big for them. Now, here's just some of our sources for these SWOT analyses. Now, our company's initial capital, we're going to start with $25,000. The price for the product is $350. Now, most people are going to lurch back at that. But when you consider what the combined cost of a quality recliner, a quality weight bench, and a quality gaming chair costs combined, you will realize just how much money you're saving by spending maybe a little more than you would on one of them to get all three, okay? And even the way that we market that could be really, really key. So say we did a 3-year plan. If we did a 3-year plan, we'll say 3-year financing for about $10 a month is what it would need to be. And I'll tell you this, people will jump back at $350, but they won't jump back at $10 a month. I mean, that's 3 years, that's less than a car payment. I mean, people really, and $10 a month feels like nothing. You go out and spend that on a burger. Really. So it's going to be all about marketing for our price point, I would believe. Now, I would combine these two, maintenance and upgrades, just basically for one big warranty. Okay, for software updates that maybe we put on the chair if it has any sort of technology in it, maybe just do about $15 a month for that. And then investments. One of the things that we could really do to expand our horizons would be to partner with companies like Lazy Boy, Peloton, and Secret Lab. In other words, what we do is we tell them, hey, we can put an attachment with your logo on it, on our chair. It's got your logo on it. They supply the attachment. We supply the free advertising. It's a win-win for everybody. We scratch their back, they scratch ours, and we make profit because of it. So getting those investments could be really, really big for us. Now, of course, here's the balance sheet. I know that Ivy did a great job doing this balance sheet and working on it. I'll let you take some time to look over that. Here's a basic blueprint for the PAMMI. Again, this is kind of a base model. Maybe some Bluetooth capabilities in the future, and a nice head cushion to keep you sitting up straight. And again, it requires minimum spacing. There could be different attachments and different ways it could be utilized. But that's just, again, it's a base model. We could go a couple different directions with it, but for just purposes of the project, we had a base model. Again, project timeline. We started with creating the project in January. From February, we began raising capital, getting investors, getting people involved. In March, we started production, and then the coronavirus happened, and it shot us in the foot like it did a lot of businesses. But our plan was for April, popularity explodes. People realize that PAMMI is the greatest thing since sliced bread. May, because of the popularity of PAMMI, an obesity epidemic occurs because of the overall popularity of the chair. People just don't want to get out of it. Maybe get kind of a Wall-E type situation going, you know, and by June we would have been ruling the world. Unfortunately, the coronavirus put a halt to that, but that's a bummer. Anyways, that is our presentation, and we are so thankful that you would allow us to do this together. And I know I'm really proud of the work that our group was able to get done with the communication and the different information that was put in to this presentation. If you have any questions, again, feel free to email us at PAMMI@company.org. That's a totally legit address that I'm sure will answer all of your questions. Well, outside of that, Miss Lake, that's about all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Get this video turned off here, and